So Reverend Al Sharpton met with Wendy Williams to lend his support and to pray with her after asking him for help with her legal battle. Now, Carlos, I know you've got the exclusive details as to what went down. Can you fill us in on what Reverend Al said?
Yeah, so Esther, it's this is crucial times for Wendy. She is fighting for her freedom, and she gave Reverend Al Sharpton a phone call, and I spoke to him the day after that she called him, and she pretty much called him and told him that she needs his help. And I spoke to her lawyer, Joe Takapina, and he explained it too. If you're going to have someone fighting for you, it is Reverend Al Sharpton, who has years and decades long history of fighting for social justice and civil rights. And that's why they called him, because when Reverend Al Sharpton speaks, people listen. And so I talked to him after he spoke to Wendy, and Reverend Al Sharpton told me that she was looking for help, and he hadn't heard from her in years. He's known her for decades from being on her show way back when she was on the radio, and also her daytime show he's been on several times. And the call came out of nowhere. She said, "Hey, Reverend Al, it's Wendy." And he said, "Yeah, it's me." And she was excited to speak with him. And so after that, he decided that he would go see her as clergy and try to get into the facility that she's living in, that she describes as a luxury prison. And so he went to pray with her.
Oh, I'm glad that he got to do that. Now, does Wendy's lawyer feel that he's going to successfully get her out of the facility that she's in?
So yeah, he feels successful. They're working hard on this. They're fighting hard on this. And, they maintain that Wendy, she's of sound mind. Her brain is there. Her mind is there because remember, she was diagnosed. Well, they feel that she was misdiagnosed with dementia. But, she wants to get out of that living facility. She's in a memory unit with other people who are battling dementia, people in their 90s and 80s. And Wendy's, she's a vibrant 60-year-old woman. And so she's locked away. This is how she feels. And, I actually went to the facility when Reverend Al was there, and it was not certain that he was actually going to be let in. In fact, he sat in his car for about 30 minutes before he went inside. And then once inside, he spoke with her for about maybe like an hour. But she was in the window waving at fans, waving at a couple of us who were outside. And, she's trying to get out of this place. And when he came out, he wouldn't share any details about what they spoke about, but he did say that they prayed.
Now, when you saw her in the window, how did she look?
She was happy. She was in the window. It looked like a woman who was happy to see people outside. I mean, but to be frank with you, it also felt like it's a woman who hasn't been outdoors because she was that happy to be in the window and see life. She was smiling, she was waving, she was on the phone the entire time. So I don't know if she was speaking to Reverend Sharpton while he was waiting in the car or who she was talking to, but she is on a crusade to get out there. I think all of this is intentional. The public outings, she's fighting to prove that she's still Wendy, and that's not where she needs to be, in this luxury living facility with people who are battling dementia.
Now, what about getting her out of her actual guardianship? What's the latest with her legal situation on that?
That's a part of the fight. They're trying to get her out of her guardianship. Again, she's maintaining that she was misdiagnosed. She's of sound mind. And people around her, her lawyer, they want her out of there. They're saying that this makes absolutely no sense. And I think part of the reason why they called Reverend Al Sharpton, because they feel that this is unjust, how she's being kept inside of there. And, again, they want him to actually fight for her. So we'll see what happens after that meeting.
I hope that he's able to make something happen. I will say it's been good to see her out and about at a few of her favorite restaurants lately. Definitely looking happy doing that as well.
For sure.
Make sure you stick with page6.com for the latest on all your favorite celebrities. And don't forget, follow us on our YouTube channel over at Page 6. Thanks, Carlos.